But some critics here in Tirana especially may say that how is it possible that an MP member of UK Parliament could have a meeting with a person that is designated as non grata from his own country? How do you answer to that?
Well, I'm meeting lots of people when I'm here in Albania, and I'm keen to get a range of views. What is very important, though, in a healthy democracy is that there is a viable opposition, a viable alternative to what the government programme is. That goes for any democratic country, and I think if that is curtailed, if that is prevented, then that's damaging not only for democracy, but I think that's then more widely damaging for a country's economy and international relations as well. You know, I'm here to hear the range of views here in Albania, and to try and do what I can to encourage a healthy and open democratic process.
Just another last question about the non grata. Mr. Berisha has claimed several times, even the first time when USA designated him as a non grata, but even the second time when the UK government, Home Office in this case, designated him as non grata too, that in both cases there are no evidences to him, shown to him or even to the public, that why he was designated as a non grata. You mentioned before that more than a process based in proofs, that this like a political decision. But what can we understand in this case when you say that it was political? What do you have to have in front of our eyes?
Well, I think if somebody is going to be accused of wrongdoing, there needs to be evidence of that wrongdoing, and there needs to be a robust and independent judicial process that looks at that evidence and determines whether somebody is guilty of what they're accused of or not. And I think it's important not just to accuse somebody of something, but if you're going to do that, you then need to follow through with the evidence and an independent judicial process that then determines the truth of that evidence. And without that, the concern is that it's perhaps about politics than it is about a genuine sense of whether a crime has been committed or not.
But is there any possibilities that you or maybe any commission in UK Parliament may ask information on how this decision on Mr. Berisha was taken? Is it possible?
Well, what I would recommend, what I said to Mr. Berisha earlier on today, was that if he feels that the UK Home Office has wrongly designated him as somebody who is not allowed to enter the United Kingdom, he needs to lodge a formal appeal against that decision so that the evidence can be looked at and a decision can be reviewed as to whether it is a just decision or not.
Can be reviewed this decision? If there are
people have a right to appeal if a decision has been made against them on immigration grounds, and if an accusation has been made as to why somebody shouldn't enter the country, then it's important that the evidence is looked at in an independent way.
What is your main topics of discussion with Mr. Berisha on your meeting?
Well, I think he was very concerned about the status that he has been given, but also I think it was important to discuss how the Democratic Party, ahead of the local elections in May, have gone through a primary process to select their candidates, something which I think is encouraging. It's an open process that means that candidates have the real rigour of a wide base of people deciding who they want to have represent them. And I think that's quite an interesting and I think promising development here in Albania.
During the last 2 years, DP party here in Albania is being entered in a reshuffle process. Let's say, especially in the ideological field, and they are looking furthermore to the conservatism. What do you suggest to the DP party in this way, and what can be done more to further strengthen the relation between Conservative Party in the UK and DP party in Albania?
Well, my principles are conservative principles. That's my political background. I believe in a smaller state. I believe in lower taxation. And I believe in policies that strengthen the family, that strengthen the nation. I think all of those personally are positive for a society. And my advice to any Conservative Party seeking election is to provide a clear alternative to what socialism has to offer. And I think that if a clear alternative is provided, then the party will much more likely be successful.
Hope it will go in the end in success. Thank you very much for your interview.
My pleasure.
It was a pleasure. Mirë të nderuar të shikues, kjo ka qenë intervista që unë kam zhvilluar me deputetin e Parlamentit Britanik dhe antarin e Komisionit të Jashtëm të këtij parlamenti, zotin Henry Smith.